Today I have a video about what was the video about? Oh my goodness, I forgot now. Hi everyone, Michael Anfield here, and thank you for joining me at Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community at peaceful-village.com in the place called Ecuador, in the northern jungles of Ecuador. So thank you for joining me here. I'm so grateful that you can come here. This is a very important video, so please watch it all the way through. And just to let you know, don't take anything I say as truth. Do the research for yourself. So today's topic is a very, very important one. And what I'm going to talk about is animal agriculture, especially small-scale organic humane, free range, free roaming, cage free, all this kind of stuff, halal, kosher. There's literally dozens, probably dozens of different names that, uh, there's literally dozens of different names that people give to these foods, you know. So, well, foods, they're not really food, they're sentient beings. They're beings and they're things that come from them, like eggs, milk, cheese, etc., honey, and so forth. So I'm going to be talking about all animal products. By the way, animals are not products, but anything that comes from them. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. And this is very important, so please stay till the end. And there's a special thing that I want to talk to you about. Now, if you want to know more about this in detail, we're going to be writing more about this in our new book that we are still working on, called The Way We Heal, Reconnecting to the Power of Nature. So, when it comes to non-human animals, okay, and versus plants, of course, because plants, yeah, they're manipulated too, and we have a lot of plants in the markets, in the supermarkets and so forth, that are sprayed and all this kind of thing. This is not a video about that, but this is a video about, okay, I understand that industrialized animal products are horrible. You know, they're horrible, these factory farms, these industrialized slaughter facilities, they're just horrible. People can go online and they can check out videos on what they do in these places. It's horrible. Now there's another damn gnat around me, and usually there's only one or two. There's not a lot here. There's very, very small occurrence of insects here. I'm sorry that, yeah, go away. Okay, so basically, people don't like to support animal agriculture, the big industrialized facilities called factory farms or big slaughter facilities, because, yeah, it's just for two things: because they use a lot of chemicals and antibiotics and all these things, and it's more healthy to buy organic. It's more healthy to buy free range, to buy cage free, to buy free roaming, to buy halal, to buy these kinds of things. Because not only is it healthier, according to the people, I'm saying this is what people say, it's usually because of health, it's better health, and also it's more ethical, because animals are outdoors, they're getting fresh air, and yeah, this kind of thing. Now you're going to be paying a higher price for organic, for humane, for all these kind of things, these fancy names and fancy packaging usually, and sold in fancy stores. But let me tell you the truth about this. I've seen it firsthand on these videos. I actually went to these farms. I actually went to the slaughter facilities. I talked to people. There are people that have been in animal agriculture, in organic animal agriculture, for 20, 30, 40 years. For example, Howard Lyman and Harold Brown are two that come to mind. And also there's a guy, his name is Matt Bear. And Matt Bear is the one that has the vegan t-shirt, the one that says vegan for the animals, for the planet. It's a black t-shirt. He also created a Life Connected video, I believe it's called. A short, very short video on veganism. And basically, they've all been exposed or actually in animal agriculture that is classified or was classified as organic. So they know firsthand the harmful or negative implications of organic agriculture. Now, I'm just lumping it all together, organic, but there's different terms like free range, free roaming, cage free, halal, kosher, humane, all this kind of stuff. They mean slightly different things, and the conditions and the practices are slightly little, differ here and there, but basically it's the same thing. Okay. Also, there's stuff like pasture raised, antibiotic free, no hormones, this kind of stuff, or no added hormones, this kind of stuff. So this can be in the form of the meat or the animal flesh, the dead bodies that people buy from stores, or it can even be in the form of milk or cheese or other dairy products, or even eggs. Can be organic or cage free, this kind of thing, or free roaming. Also honey, similar things. So all animal products, if you see the label organic, certified organic, you see humane, you see kosher, you see halal, whatever it is, whatever fancy labels and packaging you see, you will understand that basically it's the same thing. Okay, so first about the health and then the ethics. Okay, because I want to go into all of these things in detail and things like that, and then in more detail there's going to be in my book, in our book, The Way We Heal, Reconnecting to the Power of Nature. Yeah. So about health, it really depends on the farm. Okay, it really depends on multiple factors. Now, if the farm is a large-scale farm, okay, and I'm talking, when I say farm, I'm also in some way referring to slaughterhouses, because like industrialized animal facilities can still call themselves organic. Okay, so it doesn't matter if there's a certification on there from a third party, if it comes from USDA organic or whatever certification. Okay, humane label from Whole Foods or whatever it is, or kosher or halal or whatever. Basically, there's two types. There's industrialized, humane and organic and halal and kosher and all this kind of stuff. And then there's small scale, like backyard, small family farms, this kind of thing, And ultimately, when people buy organic from a supermarket or humane or something like this, or kosher or halal or whatever from a mainstream like a store, mainstream store, big supermarkets, all this kind of stuff, specialized health stores, you're basically getting it from industrialized farms. Okay, so big facilities. Now, even if you go to their website and they show you the beautiful videos, because what happens in these facilities, all facilities basically, but especially these industrialized facilities, is that, well, I'm actually going on the ethical part first. But basically what happens is that these places, no matter, because the ethics and the health are kind of joined together, really. So I have to kind of talk about a little bit of both. It's not really separate. But basically what we're doing is, when we're buying these things, these products, these animal bodies and secretions and so forth from in supermarkets and so forth, you're getting it from the industrialized facilities, even the organic ones or whatever. Usually, the animals are not outdoors. They're in big sheds, and they're not in cages, okay? Sometimes they'll be in cages that are larger than the standard cages. Sometimes they'll be just roaming around without any cages. Sometimes they'll have access to outdoors for 1 or 2 hours a day, but it's just a dirt, muddy area right in between the sheds. So really, it's horrible conditions, and there's a lot of disease, a lot of things. In organic production, in any kind of organic production or humane production or whatever, because usually humane is organic, but is also organic, but not necessarily. And also organic is sometimes humane, but not necessarily. Humane doesn't mean anything. The animals are killed no matter what in gruesome ways anyways. So that label has no meaning whatsoever. No matter where you get your animals from. So in animal agriculture, no matter what situation it is, unless the animals are completely outdoors, which is very rare, you have to go to these farms yourself, and usually the price of those products are so high, but people are willing to pay that, right? And usually it's not the poor people. Poor people are buying the cheapest of the cheapest, okay? So these places are breeding grounds. Organic facilities, especially, I'm talking usually about United States, but it's basically almost anywhere worldwide, okay? So this is like general, worldwide, almost any country, okay? There could be some exceptions, but this is mainly for United States. So basically what you're going to find in organic systems is you're going to find that the animals get sick, more sick and more diseased, because they're not allowed to give antibiotics or to give medications to the animals. It's very true. They're very sick. They do horrible practices because they're not allowed to give antibiotics to these animals. Nor do they want to, because yeah, they can't, you know. But that's according to Howard Lyman, okay? Especially when it comes to dairy, okay? So if you're buying from a smaller facility, for example, backyard, and you actually see the animals, how they're raised, like truly raised, yeah, it's definitely going to be much healthier. Especially if we don't eat a lot of animal products. If we don't eat a lot of eggs or a lot of cheese or a lot of dead body parts of animals. So definitely if we include more fresh fruits and vegetables, preferably organic or veganic, with no animal manure, bone meal, fish meal, feather meal, or domesticated animals on the land. Basically, you'll find that it's a little bit more healthy. But still the animals in the end, they're killed. No matter what it is, they're killed. And it's not happy. They're not dying happily. They're being killed brutally. And a lot of times, because they're not allowed to give antibiotics and they're not allowed to give medications, a lot of them are sick. So I truly wonder if the animal products are even healthier, because if they're not allowed to give them antibiotics and medications and all this kind of stuff, and they're getting sicker, how is that healthier to eat? It doesn't make any sense, you know. Now, if you're raising the animals yourself, you're getting the eggs yourself, the chickens yourself, and all those kind of things, and you see the animals and you're there in your backyard and all this kind of thing. First of all, it's not allowed in most places in the towns and cities. Maybe in small villages or in the rural areas, yeah, you know. But the thing is, no matter if it's healthier or not, the animals will be killed in the end. Their babies will be stolen. They're usually sent to slaughter if they're not valued. For example, if the person is just if the family is just wanting, for example, milk from the cow, and they're doing dairy production, for example, why is this animal here? Please, if they're doing animal Like if they're taking the animal's milk for example, for animal agriculture, no, sorry, if they're taking the milk from the animals for their own consumption, maybe, or maybe to sell as well, some cheeses or some other products. Yeah, the animals are going to be much healthier for sure, and the people are going to be much healthier for sure, you know. But there's a lot of implications, and it's not easy to raise animals. There's a lot of diseases still. Even raising them outdoors, there's a lot of diseases, a lot of contamination. Animals like snakes and rats, and yeah, usually people don't clean well. They don't take care of the animals that well. They have no clue what they're really doing. Yeah, this kind of thing. But just in case, for example, let's say the mother gives birth to a male baby. The male baby is going to be killed right away, sent to slaughter, or sent to a veal facility or whatever. So that's just how it is. And then the baby, if the baby is a female, they will go again for milking production. And we see the animals nothing but property, nothing but units of production. We don't see them as sentient beings. We don't see them as friends. We don't see them as family. They never give them names because they don't want to connect with them. And the children and the adults, they get so desensitized, and they say, that's just how life is. We need to feed a growing population. I need my milk. I need my eggs. I need the flesh of animals. I love the products. It tastes good. All this kind of thing. Truly, these products are horrible. Of course, from industrialized systems, it's even worse. Definitely, definitely worse. But sometimes it's worse. Sometimes, or often, because the animals are more sick, because they're not allowed to give them any antibiotics or any chemicals or whatever. I've I've talked to people, to farmers, or I should say harmers, because they're not farming anything. They're really just harming animals. But I talk to people that raise animals, and many of them are sick. Many of them have to be sprayed with insecticides and all sorts of chemicals, and many of them are not raising them organically. They're using chemicals like crazy, and pesticides and fungicides and all kinds of things. Who knows what the crazy names they give that, but chemical products, toxic products, you know. And then they have to clear the whole land if it's most animals, for most animals, but usually it's for cattle. And for cattle, they clear the entire area. They're deforesting a whole entire native forest. Believe it, we need forest. Forests are being cut down at an alarming rate. There's many statistics out there, but between 1 and 5 acres per second are being cut down. 1 and 5 acres. Please, not go away. So it's a horrible system. We don't need any of that stuff. Instead of eating the animals that are eating the grass, or that are being fed grains or whatever, soy or whatever products, alfalfa or something, we can be eating that kind of stuff ourselves. Or better yet, grow fruit trees and eat the fruit ourselves, which is much healthier. Growing legumes are very nice, which is a nitrogen fixer, which means it puts back nitrogen. There's this one gnat here that loves me so much and wants to let me see. Sorry, gnat, go away. I don't really want to kill you, but go away, because I'm non-violent. I really don't want to kill you, but go away. You're bothering me. I love you, but you're bothering me. So basically, the system of animal agriculture is violent, no matter what label it is, no matter if you raise them in your backyard, no matter if you get them from a so idyllic farm, all kinds of things. Now, one thing about industrialized farming is that a lot of times these big mega facilities are going to lie to you. They lie to their customers, okay? They have a showroom where the animals are in much better conditions, okay? And they they have frequent tours, of these places. The people visit them and they see how the animals are raised and all this kind of thing. Of course, we see them as property, and then eventually they are being killed. But the conditions that they are in, the way they are raised, is much, 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 much better. And they show videos of this, and you can actually go to their facility and see it. But some distance away, I don't know, some kilometers or so away, they have their real facilities where the actual animals are kept. The facilities where the animals are going to be slaughtered and to have their babies stolen and their milk stolen and all these kind of things. Pigs, turkeys, chickens, even fishes, and all animals basically, right? A lot of different animals. In North America and Europe, it's mainly turkeys, chickens, fish, cattle, pigs, these kind of animals, And so they lie to us. They have a video on their main page or on one of the pages saying this is how good our animals are raised, and they show the best of the best, but hidden somewhere else where you don't see it, where the visitors are not allowed to go. They have a more horror story, right? I don't have to show you any clips. This is all over the place. You can see it all over the internet. It's horrible. It's horrible. But then, even if the animals are running around, they're tearing the ground, so they're actually eating a lot of the good microbes or the good insects or worms, earthworms. Backyard raised animals are a horrible disaster for the environment. I'm telling you, horrible disaster. They're not mixing in the soil or anything. They're destroying the topsoil. They're destroying the topsoil, right? Also, it's not ethical to house them, to keep them, because it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not ethical to keep them. We see them as property. We see them as units of production. We see them as things to be used. Absolutely as an object, as a luggage, as a car, as a rock, just an object to be used. So that's the problem. And when we do this to other beings, what's happening to us? We're viewed by the government and society as just objects to be used, and it's horrible. It's horrible. As we sow, so shall we reap. Don't believe me. Check this out for yourself. Check this out for yourself. So what else can I say about animal agriculture? It's really horrible. They lie to you in every way. And they cannot call their products healthy because it's not healthy. No matter what they say or what people say on the internet, it's not healthy. That's right, it's not healthy at all. So really, animal products, organic or not, or humane or whatever, not healthy. And this humane thing is so ridiculous. Very ridiculous. I tell you something. Humane. It means compassion and sympathy and empathy and love. These kinds of things. But killing them, even in a more gentle way, even with a gun behind their head, is not compassionate, loving, caring, empathetical. None of that. Really, if we want to be unconditional loving towards all beings, we want to really be humane, we eat plants. Organic, but preferably veganic, grown ourselves without any animal inputs. Veganic is basically organic and vegan. So with no animal manure. You can use your own manure. You can use your excrement. You can use your urine. Yeah, you don't need, and you can use compost. Yeah, you don't need anything like that. This guy is bothering me. It's one animal that is bothering me. I'm sorry about this video. Sometimes we're here, we're doing a video, and one animal just circulates your face or your feet, or it's like I can't do anything. So, animal agriculture in any form need not be. We need to forego our barbaric, violent practices. We need to stop seeing other beings as property, as things to be used. We need to start seeing everyone with compassion, with love, with empathy, instead of harming them, instead of seeing them nothing but units of production. All animals, no matter what, dairy products, eggs, honey, no matter what, are killed. When their production drops or declines, or they're no longer profitable, they're dead, they're killed. It doesn't matter. They send them to a slaughter facility, or they kill them in their backyard. It doesn't matter. It's horrible. It's horrible. We don't need that any longer. If we want to live as compassionate beings, compassionate, loving, caring beings, what we call humans. Humans are supposed to be intelligent, but intelligence is the ability to make vital connections. And if we can't make vital connections to what we're putting in our mouths and what we're putting on our skins, all the chemicals, all the crap that we're eating, everything that we're putting into and on our bodies, if we're putting things that include or contain animal ingredients, it's horrible. It's horrible, really horrible. So do your own research. Read my books. I have a lot of books on this called The Lost Love, Return to the Gentle Sea, Our Path. Oh my goodness, I forgot now the titles of my books, but many, many books. You can visit them at weareinterconnected.com. It's basically a site that I made a while back. We Are Interconnected, just one word, just how it's spelled or pronounced, weareinterconnected.com. And you can get all my books there. You can even get my books through peaceful-village.com. It's more information about that also through our book, The Way We Heal, Reconnecting to the Power of Nature. The bus, thank you bus for taking us to town sometimes. We really appreciate you. But slowly, 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 it's about being self-sustainable and not relying on society for most or all of our stuff. So that's the thing. But right now we're not completely self-sustainable. We've been here only a few years and still the fruit trees are small. So that's another video as well. Okay, so just to recap what I mentioned, it's already almost 30 minutes into the video, is that animal agriculture in any form, with whatever name and label and price it is horrifying for the animals. It's a horror movie. It's a horror. It's a nightmare for the animals. Okay? We don't need that. It's a nightmare for the non-human animals that we're consuming. We can justify and we can squirm every which way that animal products, oh, I see the animals, oh, it's from free range, oh, it's organic eggs, all this, all that, it tastes so much better, oh, it's so much healthier. Well, we also have to realize one thing, that if we are not ready, and I don't endorse anything but veganism, basically. Go vegan, because vegan is the best thing. It's really just eating plants, more whole foods as much as possible, less processed stuff, less processed junk. Basically eating whole foods, especially from raw, fresh, ripe fruits and vegetables. Basically, that's what we want to eat. But if somebody wants to eat animal products, for example, they absolutely can't get rid of animal products for whatever reason, minimize as much as possible. Minimize as much as possible. And slowly, slowly, slowly reduce, and find out, really, really find out what's going on behind the scenes. you know. But understand that no matter what, at some point the animals will be killed, no matter what. The animals will be killed when the production declines or they're not profitable anymore. They will be killed in horrible ways. No matter what it says on the label, no matter what the farmer says, oh, we kill our animals nicely and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter, okay? And also because we see them as property. No matter if it's healthy or not. I don't care if I would be so sick as a vegan. I don't want to do things like this, these horrible things to non-human animals and the environment too, because we have to clear the nature in order to have these organic products, you know. So it's not sustainable. It's not environmentally sustainable whatsoever. You can check Cowspiracy for organic milk and organic raised animals and all this kind of thing in small scale farm. It's not a happy farm. So that's really all I want to say. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm Michael Landfield at Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community. I want to say thank you so much for being here. I think the animals love me. They're crawling all over me. I don't know why, but they're friendly. They're not harmful, but they're just bothersome, and they tickle and they you know, this kind of thing. So I love you very much for being here, for really opening your heart and your mind to understanding these ideas. Do your own research, go further into this, really start to understand that we're not here to own other beings, we're not here to kill them and to eat them and all this kind of thing. But if we still do that and we're still justifying or we're thinking about it, at least reduce as much as possible, you know, and better yet, eat as much vegan as possible. Eat as much plant-based as possible. And then research more about veganism, which is really not wearing animal clothing, not using them for anything, basically. And honey is a bad thing too. So honey is horrible. Stop eating honey, because that's really horrible. In backyard facilities, they even kill animals. You know, it's inevitable that animals will be killed. They clip the wings of the queen bee so that the bee doesn't fly away. So a lot of things, a lot of horrible things. Okay, everybody, I don't want to say anything more, but because you can do all your research, it's going on long enough, this video. But thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget, come join us at Peaceful Village as a visitor, volunteer, guest, or even for the healing program. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Oh, yeah.